Hello, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to my theming on exploring your inner world. And today's topic is who or what is causing your spiritual awakening? If you are interested in finding out and the answer might surprise you, please do stay tuned. I'm an author of 11 published books, including Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy, exploring your 7 energy centers with mindfulness, yoga, and Ayurveda. I'm also the author of Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the integration of body, mind, soul, and spirit. And this book, if you're viewing it this week, it is on sale on Kindle. You can pick up any or all of my published books on Amazon. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I teach meditation on demand. The link is below if you would like to join that class, and I would highly recommend it for exploring your inner world. You will get your personalized Sanskrit mantra with me. So you can go ahead and start that at the link below. Here we go. Who or what is causing your spiritual awakening? As you all know, if you are experiencing a spiritual awakening can be extremely disconcerting, painful, disorienting, and a little frustrating. There are so many things that go into the stages and signs of a spiritual awakening. Now, if you haven't yet viewed my first 2 signs of a spiritual awakening, I will post the link to the playlist right here so you can check that out after this video. But it really is, it's extremely jarring when you have a spiritual awakening. Now, I have had at least 4 major spiritual awakenings in my life. The last 2 were doozies, guys. I will tell you that right now. And I will talk about that later in the series. Like, why do we have more than one sometimes? Because that really doesn't make sense. But you might be wondering, like, who in my life or what in my life is causing this crazy spiritual awakening? Now, a lot of you have come to my channel because of a twin flame experience. And because of that, you had a spontaneous spiritual awakening. Now, that certainly is one way in which you can awaken, but it's not the only way. Now, for example, for me, in one of my spiritual awakenings that commenced at the end of 1999, I had to think about that for a minute. 1999, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. I was 28 years old. I didn't know what was happening. It jarred me into a spiritual awakening. I was faced with my own mortality, and now I can kind of laugh about it because it was not laughable at the time. It really was not laughable. It's been a big bucket of time. It's been 26 years. I'm obviously here. I'm obviously fine. But when we get a diagnosis of a serious illness, that can jar us into a spiritual awakening. There are many other things, the death of someone we love that's really close to us, a divorce, something happening, a loss of a career or a job or a financial devastation. So as you well know, there are many situations and circumstances under the umbrella of things that happen in our lives that cause a spiritual awakening. But in fact, did you know that it is none of those things? Not a person, place, animal, or thing that causes your spiritual awakening. In reality, what causes your spiritual awakening is you. You are the cause of your spiritual awakening. And you might be saying, Michelle, what the heck? What do you mean it's me? Well, it's your soul. Your soul is causing your spiritual awakening. Ever since you came here, ever since you were born, your soul has been quietly whispering to you and saying, hey, I'm here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Can you pay attention to me, please? Like, I'm right here. And through our physicality and life experience and this physical body and everything that encompasses the physical and material world. Now, I believe in spirituality that physical is not bad and material is not bad. I know some people think that it is. It is not. You asked to be here. You asked for this experience, this life experience as a soul. And it is all good. It is absolutely positively good. Your body is good. The material realm is good. Everything here is good. So it's not like your soul is saying, hey, I'm here, calling you to it, saying, don't pay attention to the physical. It's all bad. No, it's calling you to it to tell you that that is also a major part of your life experience. Because most of us throughout time, we drowned out the voice of our soul, our higher spiritual self. We drown it out. And it's very easy to do, isn't it? We have so many distractions and so many wonderful things on this earth plane that it's very easy to drown out the voice of your soul. The soul is not going to be obnoxious about it. The soul is going to give you little bits of, clues and synchronicities and coincidences and maybe quiet moments in order for you to hear the voice of your higher spiritual self, the voice of your soul. And if you have a tendency to ignore and stuff it away and push it down, your soul's voice is going to try to get you to get on the right path. Through stuffing it down, you can cause more turmoil or disconnect in your life because leading by your ego, your personality, the material, the physical, if you're leading only by that, we can get a little confused, right? We can get confused about what is important. Not to say that the ego's desires, your personality's desires, and the material's desires are not important, because they are, but they're not the only thing. And a lot of times we shut out the soul part of us, the higher spiritual self part of us, to have the pleasures or the immediacy of satisfaction of the material world or of the ego's desires. We kind of go for that, rather than seeking out more expansion. When you quiet down the soul because you're like, I don't want to pay attention to you, soul. This is not your thing. I'm here now. You're doing this subconsciously for the most part, right? You're doing this subconsciously. But when you're shutting down the voice of the soul's like, okay, but I'm trying to help you make better decisions. I'm trying to help you not only follow what the ego's desires are, I'm trying to help you live a balanced life. Because truly you have one foot in the physical and one foot in the spiritual. And if you honor both sides, then you can have a richer experience in life, a more balanced experience in life, an experience that doesn't keep you struggling or in turmoil or in chaos or in negative emotions. Because the ego really enjoys immediacy, the ego enjoys to be prominent, we have a lot of suffering as a result of that. Not to say the ego is bad. I don't want you thinking that's what I am entertaining here. The ego is not bad. The ego is a part of you. But the ego can lose perspective. And so that's why your higher spiritual self can help you and help to guide you so that you're always selecting the right path. You're always choosing the right path. When you, as being a spiritual being having a human experience, when you reach the point at which you've gone so far off track that you have really stamped out the voice of your higher spiritual self in favor of your ego, your personality, your material desires, you've stamped out the soul's voice so much that your life has become out of balance. That is when we have those major happenings, the major happenings that occur that then cause a spiritual awakening. But don't think for a minute, oh, it's the fault of my twin flame, or oh, it's the fault of this disease, or it's the fault of this family member who died on me, or it's the fault of my financial destruction and ruin, or the fault of me losing my job. It's not the fault of any of those things. It's just the fact that in order to live a more holistic and balanced life, it's necessary to honor both sides. And you might be wondering, well, how then do I honor both sides? By giving your higher spiritual self a voice, a say, a vote, a vote, if you will, in what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. And one of the ways in which you do this is through meditation. So it's quieting the mind, quieting the thoughts, the ego, and allowing your higher spiritual self to speak, to say things, to allow you to see synchronicities and coincidences, allowing you to hear the voice of intuition, which is the voice of your higher self. And when you meditate daily, twice daily, when you get quiet, when you move into silence, when you spend time in nature, when you journal, when you turn off devices and all of those things, you allow the balance to come back into your life. Because when you are out of balance and it builds up over time, that's when you have these major catastrophic events, or just a major occurring that comes to happen, like a twin flame awakening, which is painful, right? If you've experienced that journey, that's a very painful journey. It's not an easy way to ease into that. So if you've experienced anything like an illness, like I did when I was 28, then you know that it's not an easy way to a spiritual awakening. You can open up to your spiritual side without having a major cataclysmic event that opens you up to your higher spiritual self. Okay, I just want to make that crystal clear. Not everyone on the spiritual journey has these major events. If they are bit by bit listening to their higher spiritual selves and honoring their intuition and honoring the inner voice and letting their higher spiritual self have a vote, have a say, have a vote, then it happens bit by bit. It's not this major occurring, this major event that totally upheavals their lives. But for many people, probably more often than not, because you've been ignoring your higher spiritual self and quieting that side of you, you do have something cataclysmic that does occur that causes this spontaneous spiritual awakening. So it's really you. I just wanted you to know that it's you causing this. It's your higher soul, your higher source, your spiritual self that is causing this spiritual awakening. And it's not the who, what, when, why, how. It's not the things in your life. It's not the people in your life that's causing this. It's you all by yourself. It's you trying to get you more aligned. And so when you realize that you have more control over this than you really have come to believe. And having control over your experience gives you inner power. And that's what we want, right? We want to have some type of inner power over an experience that really is causing some upheaval in our lives. So I hope this was helpful for you today. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. Thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this with others who might be going through a spiritual awakening. Thank you for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy one of my 11 published books. You can start on demand my meditation course and learn how to meditate and get your mantra. And I will see you in the next video.